Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm the creative director of Oriana Couture. I want to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers, and if you are just visiting this channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe and also hit on the notification bell so you can get notified once I upload any sewing tutorial. So on this video, I'm going to be showing you how to draft a Queen Anne neckline. So Queen Anne neckline is one of the neckline that is trending on social media, and it can be used for any attire. So right now, the basic measurement that we are going to be needing is our shoulder measurement, our shoulder to nipple, our shoulder to underbust, our shoulder to half length, and then of course our bust circumference, our underbust circumference, and our waist circumference. So right now, this is me. I'm trying to rule out all the lines that I've done before this video, which is shoulder to nipple, our shoulder to underbust, and also our shoulder to half length. So if you don't know how to take this measurement, please kindly visit the previous video where I did how to take your basic body measurement. So right now, the first thing that we are going to be doing is to take our neck width, and then we'll take our shoulder measurement. So you can see I'm just trying to show you my shoulder to nipple, underbust, and then the half length. So I'll be going in by 3. This is the standard measurement. You go in by 3. If you want it to be tighter on the neck, you can go in by 2.5. So but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be going in by 3, and then I took my shoulder measurement, and then I came down by 1, and then I'm connecting these lines together. Please take note of that. So after which, I'm gonna be taking my chest line. Your chest line has its own calculation. Please visit my previous video to know how to calculate your chest line. But if you don't want to do that, another way of getting your chest line is your shoulder measurement. You come down from where the starting line is, and then you just place your shoulder measurement. This is a freehand of taking your chest line if you don't know how to calculate it on the other way of how we calculate it rather. So right now, I'm going to connect these lines together like as I'm doing right now. Please, when you are ruling, please use a longer ruler because I couldn't find mine, so I had to do with what was available. So I've gone ahead to take out the chest line. So the next that I'm going to be doing is to mark my nipple to nipple, and the nipple to nipple I'm working with is 8. That is a standard measurement, but it is proper for you to take that of your client so you'll be sure if theirs is 8 or lesser or more than 8. So I'm going to connect this line to meet at the bust point. So I have 4 that I've connected to meet at the bust point. So on the other side, that is on the right hand side, I'm going to be going out by 1. Going out by 1 is for someone who is not busty, whose bust is within 32 or 30. But if you're busty, you can do 2 or 2.5, as you can see what I'm doing on my tape rule. But this person, I'm just going to be using 1 for her. I'm going to be using 1 for her because she's not busting, and then I will go in on the left hand side by 0.5. But if you are busty, you go in on the left hand side by 0.75. But if you are not busty, you go in by either 0.25 or 0.5. So right now I'm going to connect these lines together. I'll connect it on the right hand side and also on the left hand side, and then I'll get my curve ruler to connect these points together. Please take note of that. And while you're connecting, please, there should be no sharp edges. This is very important. Take out every sharp edges so it won't be looking puffy when after you're done sewing. So as you can see, I've gone to connect on the other side, and then I'm connecting on the left hand side. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to create my armhole curve. So this line that I'm going to be drawing is to create my armhole curve. So I just place my shoulder measurement there, and then I'm going to connect it. So it's more like I'm connecting it like a square. Please take note of that. It's just like you are connecting it like a square, you can see. So on that line is where you are going to then divide it by 2. Whatever you have, you divide it by 2. This would help you to create your armhole depth for the front. Please take note of that. And then I'll go in by 0.5. You go in by 0.5, and then the next thing also that I'm going to be doing is to create my shoulder dart. So to create my shoulder dart is to divide my shoulder slope by 2, and whatever you get, you divide it by 2, and whatever you get, you connect it to the to connect it to, you connect it to the bust gap, like as I'm doing. Please use a straight rule and make sure the rule you're using is longer. So after connecting this, the next thing is to determine how deep we want the Queen Anne neckline to look. That is, either you want it to be a sweetheart neck, or you just want, either you just want to make it straight. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be doing a sweetheart neck, but it's not going to be going to be too deep. So right now, if you don't want it to be so deep, the difference between your bust to your under bust, if whatever you have, you take it up from your bust point. For me, I had three, but if you don't want it to be revealing, you don't want your bust to be revealing, you either go up by one. As you can see, I'm trying to measure it. What I have there is 3. You can see the tape rule is 3. You can see where it's sitting. It's sitting at the bust point. So you mark and then you go up by that. So I'm going to be working with that on this tutorial. So I'm going to be going up by 3 from my bust point, and then I will connect these lines together. So that is it for this part. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to create the sweetheart neck. So while creating this sweetheart neck, it all depends on how deep you want this to be. Either you just start it from there, or you go down to your chest line. It all depends on your preference. So you just play around it and then make sure you do what works for you. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to then tighten the bust, to tighten where that we went up by 3, because if you don't tighten it, it won't be sitting very well on your bust. Please take notes of that. As you can see, I went in on both sides by 0.5 because the person using this is not busty. She's not busty. But if you are very busty, you go in by 0.75 on both sides. So I had to clean it a bit because my ruler, the lines wearing straight. So I went in on both sides of that line by 0.5 on the left and on the right side, and then I connected it to my bust point. So that is it. I'm going to be ruling out all of these lines with my marker pen. So right now I want to create the sweetheart neck. So you can see how I'm working with my free hand. If you are not so good with your free hand, please use your slight curve rule to create this. So this is me. I have to just make it visible so you all can see what I'm trying to create there. So after which, whatever you get, if you go in by 0.5, please measure what you get and replace it on that line. Please take note of this. Make sure you replace it, because if you don't replace it, you have difficulties when you are doing your finishing. Please make sure you replace it. Either is 1.5. Please replace it, and then you connect these 3 points together to then create your armhole curve. You connect these lines together to create your armhole curve. Please, I hope we are paying attention to this. If you find this difficult, please watch this again, or you ask any question on the comment section, and then I'll be ready to respond to you. So that is it for this. I've gone ahead to create this, and then the next thing we have to do is to take out all measurements. So I've gone ahead to take out the under bust measurement, and right now I'm marking out the waist measurements, and then the allowance we had, you will replace it. Whatever you have, either 1.5, 2.5 on the dart leg, you replace it and connect it to the bust point. You can see how I'm drafting mine out. So yours doesn't have to be so straight. Yours doesn't have to be this curvy. This is just the person's body shape. That is why you can see it this way. So right now, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to then show you how to connect to create the Queen Anne neckline. So from that point, usually we always have 3x3. We are not going to be working that way right now. So that is off. So I have to take it off, so I would explain better. So we are going to be connecting the dart leg on the right hand side to our neck depth, where we went in by 3. So if you want to close it, you either connect it to the left hand side where we went in by 5, or you connect it to the right hand side, but we went out by 0.5. Sorry, not by 5, 0.5. Please pay attention to this. So right now I'm taking out all these lines that are not needed. I'm taking out all these lines that are not needed, and right now I'm going to be using my marker pen to draw out all these lines. Thank you. To rule out all the lines with my marker pen to make it very visible. So the next that I'm going to be doing is to create my side dart, and your side dart is the difference between your front half length and your back half length, and the difference between mine is 2. Please make sure you take your back half length and your front half length to be sure of the difference. So right now I'm connecting that to my bust point. As you can see, I'm connecting it and I'm trying to make it very visible with the pencil I'm using. So after doing this, I'm going to be marking out all the parts that will not be needing on this pattern paper. As you can see, those are the parts I'm marking out. Those are the darts. I'm going to be taking them off while I'm going to be cutting. And so those are the only parts that we are needing, the part that I'm just highlighting with my hand. So as I'm cutting, please take a look at how I'll be cutting through the darts. So right now, this is me. I'm using a masking tape to hold the darts very well, the side darts that we took. And then the next thing you are going to do is to get a fresh pattern paper and then place it beneath. This is for you to trace the side of the bodies very well. So you are going to also use a masking tape. Use a tape, whatever tape you have. Any tape can work. It doesn't have to be a masking tape, but for me, I just prefer to use a masking tape for my tutorials. So then you use a tape, your preferred tape, to hold the extra paper that you placed beneath your pattern paper, and then you rule a straight line to connect those lines together. Just rule a straight line, follow as I've done so, and after that you cut through. Cutting through, because you just don't have to leave it so it's going to be straight, because definitely you need to give it the body shape that it has. So I'm trying to use another masking tape so it will hold the upper part very well. So you can see it's just straight. So then you pick up your pen or your pencil, whatever you're using, and then you make sure you give it that curvy look that it has. You can see how I'm tracing it out. You can see how I'm tracing it out, and then you give it that curvy look. Mind you, please take note that your allowance was not added on your pattern paper. So when you are cutting on your fabric, make sure you add the allowance, the ease that you need. Either you want to use a 2 ease or 1.5, whatever is your choice, please do so. And then I'm cutting through the darts, those that we don't need on the other part of the pattern paper. So right now I'm also going to cut on the other side. I was almost losing the bust point. You can see I'm using a masking tape to hold it. So please, whenever you're doing yours, please make sure you pay attention to all these little details. It matters a lot, else you are just going to lose your pattern, and then some measurements will be missing while you're working. So right now I'm done with the what's it called, with this front pattern, and the next video that you're going to be seeing is the video of me cutting the back pattern, which is not difficult. So for the front pattern, we just have 3 pieces. Make sure you have 3 pieces, and that is it for now. Thank you, and then see you on the other video. So this is a fresh pattern paper for our back pattern, and then I've gone ahead to create a zipper allowance. You can use 2 inch for that, and then that is our starting line. And so the measurement that we'll be needing is our chest line, our bust point, and then our half length. So the half length for this tutorial I'm using is 14. Make sure you take your back half length. If you don't know how to do that, please watch my previous video where I showed how to I taught on how to take your back half length and then your front half length. So right now I've gone ahead to rule those lines across, and then the first thing I'm going to do is to go in by the width of the neck that I'm working with. I went in by 3 and then I came down by 1, and then I'm going to connect this together. You either use your free hand or you use your slight curve rule, whatever works for you, please do. And then after that I went ahead to mark my shoulder measurements, and then I'm trying to create the square like we did for the front pattern for our armhole. And then after that I extended the line a bit because that is where I'm going to be placing my bust measurement. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my nipple to nipple. As you can see, I took my nipple to nipple to the chest, to my chest line, and then from that part I came down by 1. So please make sure you come down by 1 inch because the dart automatically does not get to that point. And then on the left and on the right side I went in and I went out by 0.5. Please make sure you just do as I'm doing on this video. Sorry, the lines are a bit faint. I promise next time I will do better. So right now I'm gonna have to mark my bust measurement, and then the 1 inch allowance that is we talked about adding 1 inch allowance on your armhole. Please make sure you do so. And then I've gone ahead to mark my waist measurement, and then the darts that I took out I replaced, and then I connected these lines together. Please just do and follow this video. It's not tedious. You can see the back pattern doesn't have a lot of drafting and all of that. So right now I'm going to connect those to create my armhole. Rather, creating your armhole for my back, what I do for me is I don't go in by 0.5 like I did for the front. So right now I'm going to be eliminating the bulky parts that we always have on our zip. When after sewing we see it's kind of swollen at the back. So on that part I went in by 0.5, and then I would connect to the zip line. Please just watch this, it's not difficult. Go in by 0.5. I'm sorry, this is faint. So you can see I went in by 0.5, and then I connected it to the original line I took for the zipper. And then from after that you create the allowance for your zipper and then draw a straight line across. So this is not difficult, it's easy. If you don't understand, please reach out to me on the comment section, or rather watch this video again. And so after which we're done, so you either close your darts or you cut through, but for the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to be doing the two, and then I'll show you how it is. So I'm just cutting through right now to show you how you are going to be cutting yours as well. It's not tedious. So before I forget, I almost forgot rather, you come down by 1 on that part for your shoulder slope, and then you connect to the depth of your neck like I have done so. So I've connected, and then I'm going to take out my shoulder slope for the back. And then so this is our back dart. So back dart is either you also create your shoulder dart, or you just open one leg of the dart and then you put it together. So this is it for the back dart. Sorry, this is it for the back drafting rather. Thank you. This is it for the back drafting. So you can see I'm trying to close up the dart. So it all depends on how you want it. Is either you close up your dart, or you also take your shoulder dart and then connect this together and cut slash through. So you are also going to get the same result, just the way we connected our shoulder dart for the front. So this is how it's going to be looking on the pattern paper, because this is a paper, it's not going to be relaxing. But when you want to cut on your fabric, is a different scenario. So what I have here, this is my front. I have one piece. Is either for your neckline you might go deeper, but for me I don't want to go deeper, or you'd rather do a keyhole like I'm doing with my free hand. You can see I'm just creating that a keyhole. This is a keyhole back neckline that I'm doing. So If you actually want to know how to do this queue, you can just comment on the comment section, and then I'll teach you how to do your queue. So for the front we have 3 pieces, and for the back we have 1 piece. Thank you so much everyone for staying to the end of this video. Bye.